you, tonight's graduates. Congratulations and our best wishes for the future. This time I'd like to call upon Gail Ford, this year's valedictorian. Gail.
Classmates, parents, teachers, and guests. The other day when Mrs. Trukin informed me that I had been elected to give the valedictory address, I had mixed emotions, but decided to tackle it anyway. The first step was to find out exactly what the word meant. It said, pertaining to a leave taking, a parting address usually done by a student of a graduating class. To me, graduation is a time to recall past memories and experiences, and to prepare for new challenges awaiting us. And also it's a time to dress up. We do look pretty good, eh? This year has been challenging and rewarding. To me, the greatest reward is to see everyone in the class share his or her pens, notes, assistance, advice, etc. This will prove to be an asset in high school and years after. This year has also been highlighted by many activities. Our trip to Toronto, campus quiz, sporting event, etc. The biggest thrill for me was being part of the campus quiz team and meeting my hero, Graham Hart. It was a learning experience to be on a TV studio and observe how a show is filmed. Brad was also quite excited as he split the seam of his pants before leaving for checks. A minor detour, we soon fixed this problem. Many of the pupils in our class participated in the 3-pitch tournament recently. We had a perfect record in both the boys and girls tournaments. But the main thing is that we had fun. This year, North Cavan is suffering other losses. Besides our class, North Cavan is losing Mr. Baldwin, Mrs. Berkowitz, and Mr. King. The students will certainly miss Mr. King, the rattling of Mr. King's keys, Mrs. Berkowitz's good morning greetings, and Mr. Baldwin's collection of ties. These people, along with the rest of the staff, helped to make North Cavan what it is today. But when you think of it, Mr. Bird and Mrs. Trukin are the ones to thank. Because without them, we'd still be in grade 7. It sure was comforting to hear Mrs. Trukin say, not to worry, if you didn't quite understand the question. It was quite a scene when the class would break out in howls of laughter after one of Mr. Bird's barn burner jokes. Together, Mr. Bird and Mrs. Trukin worked together to enrich life always won't be as funny. With the recession and nuclear bombs, it's quite frightening. But if you follow the old saying, you can achieve anything if you work hard enough, the future will look a bit brighter. I'm really looking forward to our class reunion in 1996. It'll be interesting to see what our occupations will be then. You never know. Doug might end up as a French professor. Susan, Wendy, and Alana in a symphony, and Matthew a karate expert. I would just like to thank my classmates and teachers for making the year 1983 a memorable year. And as the saying goes, it's better to set your sights high and fail than to set them low and succeed. Thank you.
When we got together as a group of teachers to pick a name, one name came up 4 times in a row from 4 teachers. I'd like to call upon Matthew Sargent. Matthew. For those of you who do not know, Matthew's name will go on this plaque along with the other people that Brian Kennedy, Paul Kate, Robbie Monroe, Marion Lyon, Cole Spencer, Gerald Cosma, Captain Feeney, Mark Alaska, and Mark Boyd back in 1973. Talk about giving your all for your school. The other day, man, we even gave a big toenail.
This year's Outstanding Academic Achievement Award goes to a student who had 89.5% average in his academic subjects. Laurie Burton is a student tonight, as well as being an outstanding academic performer. We had assisted on Cavan in many ways, who represented our school. We asked the rest of the graduating class, one might add, a note here, might add, I think, the friendliest, most courteous, very, very hardworking. And when we asked this graduating class to choose their valedictorian, we asked them to put down a few words of why this person would be their valedictorian. And I think the words that came to mind over and over again were friendly, put forth good effort, speaks well, and helps others move forward. So this year's Outstanding Academic Achievement Award goes to them.
Next on the agenda, we have an individual with whom I haven't seen for approximately 3.5 years. This person was like a mother hen to me about 4 years ago when I first arrived at North Cavan School, and I still have fond memories for Mrs. Follis. She is here tonight to say a few words.
Reunion that the valedictorian was talking about. I just can't believe what has happened to you guys, those of you that I know, in 8 years. It's a great honor for me to be invited to speak to this graduating class of 1983. It's a good feeling to be back in the school again and to see so many familiar faces. First of all, congratulations to the graduates on having passed successfully such an important milestone in your lives. Wasn't it a grand and glorious feeling when you knew for sure that you had finished your public school education, you could put away those well-worn textbooks and maybe even throw away the tattered notebook and get on with things? I really feel like forgetting about all the rest of the people in the auditorium and asking the class to come over to circle so that we can have our news. I'm not sure who should be asked to choose the health song, but we don't have our old yellow rug here, and we don't have the piano, and somehow or other the class looks just a little different from when I knew you before, and I do have a feeling that you might tell me as much tonight as you told me 8 years ago in grade 1. I was looking over the class list that Mr. Bird sent me, and as I recall, the people in this class who I knew were the grade A, grade 1. By this I mean it was the year of the agriculturalists, the artists, and the athletes. As I recall, Derek and Matthew worked more or less together, and by the way, you people who work in my room are very, very lucky because I may not be too popular bringing back these memories.
Always seem to come back as soon as they're out of high school next year in June to sort of lord it over the grade 8s who haven't gotten out yet. But that's fine. We enjoy seeing them back. We've always enjoyed having our graduates come back. Some, when they come back, they realize they get a job or two to do. That's probably why they enjoy having them back as well. Don't worry, we'll find something for you to do when you come back. Please come back. Please let us know how you make out and what happens to you. We are interested. Just enjoy the meeting. Now Cavan School. Dorothy Boyle. Glenn Buchan. Dwayne Cinnamon. Brad Cavan. Glenn Cimbala. Peter Robbie. Tammy Earl. Keith Fisher. Natasha Creason. Heidi Gunter. Norma Lee Haggard. Michelle Hanrahan. Dale Ward. Chris Hunt. Tracy Joe. Margaret Jones. Susan Kennedy. Stephanie Martin. Joanne McLeod. Derek Moore. Patty Parker. David Parks. Dennis Perot. Doug Root. A sad note on tonight's half the occasion. We've just heard half an hour ago that Doug has been taken to the hospital on undisclosed illness. We'll make sure he gets it. Matthew Sargent. Carrie Shakespeare. Julie Spencer. Shelley Spear. Wendy Stoll.
Patricia Thompson. Sheila Van Beek. Alana Walkowitz. Janice Willard. Ladies and gentlemen, North Cavan's 1983 graduating class.